Now we are discussing about PowerPoint presentation in presentation skills. Now previously, just before few minutes, we discussed about presentation skills and how we can imbibe those presentation skills. And now we are going to learn under presentation skills PowerPoint presentation. How we can present our presentation in a powerful manner. Noting down the points, important points, is what called PowerPoint presentations. Generally, presentation skills is not very much different from PowerPoint presentation. Most of the youngsters are with the opinion that PPTs is very difficult. Making PPTs is very difficult. But their opinion is not right. It is not very difficult. It is just like your own oral presentation. But the only difference is that you present your points on the screen in the form of PowerPoint presentation with some illustrations like images, pictures, charts, photographs, graphs and flowcharts, etc. This is the only difference between presentation skills and PowerPoint presentation, or oral presentation and PowerPoint presentation. Whether you demonstrate PowerPoint presentation or oral presentation, you need presentation skills. So under this heading, presentation skills, you can present yourself orally and you can also present yourself with the help of PowerPoint presentation. But the only thing is you express them or present them on the screen point by point with the help of some illustrations like images, pictures, photographs, graphs and flow charts. And what are the technological gadgets you need to make PowerPoint presentation? You need some technological gadgets or devices for making this PowerPoint presentation. So, in order to facilitate you to make PowerPoint presentation, you have to get computer with working condition. You need projector and screen. You need speaker in working condition. So if you have these gadgets with you, a computer with good working condition, projector and the screen, and speaker in working condition. If you have these things, you can effectively present or give your PowerPoint presentation. And we have some tips here to make our PowerPoint presentation effective. Under the tips, let us see the first one. Choose the topic. First of all, you have to choose the topic. On what topic you are going to talk, or what topic is suitable for you, or on what topic you are suggested to speak. You have to choose it. Second one, decide the number of slides and suitable design. And you have to see how many slides are needed for you to give your PowerPoint presentation. And you can design them in such a way. Third one, choose relevant colors. So you have to match the colors or suitable colors or appropriate colors to magnify your points. You have to choose and present. So that's why you have to choose relevant colors that can help you to present in effective way. Fourth one, do not use more than 3 colors. So multicolors is not needed. Using multicolors is not needed. You can use 3 colors that will best suit you for PowerPoint presentation. Fifth one, select the right font. Select the right font. So font size you have to select. Whatever the font size you need to express your points, you have to select it. Sixth one, show one after the other, leaving space for ample discussion. You have to show the slides one after the other, taking sufficient pauses or space for ample discussion. That means you need to discuss on each slide, so you have to use the needed time. So in order to use the needed time, in order to explain each slide, you have to keep some gap between slide to slide in explaining them. You should not go in a one spell. You have to pause, you have to give pauses now and then after each slide and explain them improperly. Seventh one, use relevant animation. So you have to animate yourself while explaining, and you have to make those pictures to be animated as though they are having life in them. Next, clarify doubts. Clarify doubts. So after explaining all your points, maybe if you are a recruiting company, you can use PowerPoint presentation, and to the candidates that appear for your recruitment examination, you can explain them all about your company and your company benefits and everything that your company is going to give for its employees. You can explain on the screen point by point, and later you can clarify some doubts to the candidates so that they can know well about your company, about your college, about your school, about your cooperatives, etc. Later, at the last, before you conclude the PowerPoint presentation, conclude your presentation thanking the audience. Just say, thank you all. So you have to thank the audience, and after thanking the audience, you have to end your presentation. Then you could become a good presenter, and whatever you want to convey, your students or your employees, your staff, you can do your job successful. Okay, today we are going to learn about lesson 4, public speaking. We are going to learn about public speaking, and that is lesson 4 in the unit 3. In the previous session, we learned about presentation skills, and we know why presentation skills are necessary for a good speaker or for a good presenter. Now, what is the difference now in speaking in public and in speaking with a small gathering? That we are going to learn in this public speaking. Public speaking is not a very different thing from presentation skills. Presentation skills means altogether we learn that whenever we present something, we need some skill to present ourselves before any situation. So that's why it is not entirely different from public speaking. Whether we speak publicly or privately, it is called presentation skills. So, but there is a slight difference. What is the difference between the presentation skills and the public speaking skills? So, generally, public speaking and presentation skills comes under the subheading speaking skills, or ability to speak, or the art of speaking English. Now, I would like to explain you the small difference between public speaking and presenting a paper in a seminar. When you present a paper in a seminar, the gathering is very small, and that is done usually in academic situations or for academic purposes. But whereas public speaking is necessary when you speak in public meetings, or maybe like functions that were held in your colleges, like Freshers' Day, Annual Day, Independence Day, etc. So, when you speak publicly to a large gathering, then it is called public speaking. So, public speaking takes many roles. As a politician, you have to keep in touch with the public, and you have to speak to the audience in the public at large gatherings. And especially we can notice these kind of situations during the times of elections. The political leaders conduct campaigns, and there they gather huge crowds, and there they deliver their speeches asking for them to vote on behalf of their party or in favor of their party. For asking words, we can see the politicians speaking publicly. So, public speaking is social. It is an social activity, whereas presenting a paper in a seminar is an academic activity. Now, we can see great speakers and we can learn from them. Now, we can go back to the history and see Gandhiji, the father of our nation. He is a good public speaker. In the same way, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther, Winston Churchill, etc. So, these people are great speakers, and many great speakers are there like that. So, we can learn much from them and we can become good speakers. We can take the examples of these great speakers. We can study their life history and we come to know how they became good speakers. They were not born speakers. Nobody is a born speaker, but they became speakers by hard work. So, public speaking skills is social, and in order to speak on social activities with large gatherings, we should develop a skill that is called public speaking. So, if we develop communication skills, thinking skills, and body language, automatically we can become a good speaker and we can become a good public speaker. Now, when you are asked to address a gathering, keep the following in mind. Now, we have something on the blackboard here. So, I am reading them for you. Suppose if you cannot view them in case, you can again and again hear my repeated words and you can note down. So, now we have some points or tips to address a gathering. To address a gathering, we need to keep some points. So, those points we have to keep in mind. Already we've studied about these points in presentation skills, and in addition to those, we are adding a few more to them under public speaking. Now, number one, planning. So, we already know what is a planning means. So, first of all, when we want to speak publicly, okay, we have to plan on our topic. We have to do some research and we have to plan a beginning, a middle and an end. And in this way, we can make planning first. So, when we make planning, what are the resources with us? What is our ability? And how we can present it publicly in the most effective way? All these things we have to think and prepare on those lines. Second one, be original and smart. We already learned this in presentation skills. So, again, this is applied here. So, we should not copy anybody. We should be original. Original means what? We should express our own ideas. We have to use our views. We have to use our mind and speak with others. And we should not copy others. You should be yourself, or I should be myself, or somebody should be himself in speaking. That would be the good style for him. That we can say on style, integrity and personality. on style integrity and personality. We have to keep on style integrity and personality instead of simply copying others and exhibiting ourselves. We should exhibit ourselves to the audience, not other people in us. So this point you have to keep in mind. And next, short, sweet, and not beyond given time. So generally the speakers will be allotted with the time. And in our day-to-day life, we can observe many people, they cross the limits of the given time. And there are few speakers, they maintain time, they manage time perfectly. That's why they are called as good speakers or genuine speakers, powerful speakers. Or we can also say them orators. Because why? Because they speak what is not needed, what is necessary, and all the superfluous things they leave out. They don't add in their speech. So that's why here we should learn, if we want to make our speech sweet, we have to make our speech short. That is very, very important. Short and sweet is both sides of the coin. When you find short, then it will be sweet. So we have to make our speech as short as possible, as brief as possible, in order to make it effective and keep up the time and make or give chance for other orators, other great people to share with the audience their feelings. So in this way, we are giving opportunities to others. We are not depriving the opportunities of others, as well as we are using our time in the best way. So this will affect us in a positive manner. Next comes, keep the audience in mind. Yes, we have to keep the audience in mind. Their age factor is very, very important. And we have to see what is the number of the audience. That means, of course, generally you can say or pose a question to me that how can we count the audience? Should we count the audience? You may say. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying in that way. We can imagine at least what the audience are and what is the strength of the audience. We can imagine approximately, and accordingly when we can plan our speech. So, and we have to see other aspects like whether the audience comprising of children, women, men, or the audience are only women and men. We have to see all these differences. If they are only men, we have to change our style of speaking. If they are only women, we have to change our style of speaking. If they are only children, we have to speak with them in a different way. If the audience is comprising of all these age groups, then we have to adopt a different style. So, for that, we have to see all these aspects: age group, number, and other things as we have discussed. So it will help us to become a good speaker, or it will help us to deliver a good speech that would bear fruits. Next comes, stay cool and relaxed while speaking. you are the boss on the stage. You should not mind about anybody, because why? That time is allotted to you and you have to manage that time, and you are having the complete authority over that time, and you can use that time in a proper way. So you should not think about anybody. You should not mind who are sitting on the stage, but you have to follow some formalities in speaking, but you should not mind who is sitting. You have to only follow the formalities and try to be polite in speaking with different personalities. But you should not worry about different personalities. Whoever they may be, they may not do you anything as long as you not cross the limits of your courtesy that was given to you and the time that was given to you. As long as you follow the formalities of that public meeting, nobody will trouble you. The only thing is you should make yourself effective by only concentrating what you should speak instead of being worried of others, what they are going to think about you. Okay, next thing, don't bother about anybody, don't worry about anybody, and don't try to be nervous. You should try to overcome your nervousness. Sixth one, be interactive and humorous. When you are talking with the audience, always remember you should be interactive. That means you should make the audience involved in your speech, in your speaking. That means in the meantime or from time to time, you should ask them questions and interact with them by speaking with them with some anecdotes and with some contextual quotations. With these things, you can interact them and you can make them involved in your speech so that that will become stupendous. Next, mind your body language. Mind your body language. So, for the body language, so your body is very, very important, isn't it? Your body is very important. So, because everybody is looking at you, so you have to move in the right positions. You have to stand in the right position. You should not try to sit while speaking unless and until you are compelled due to some circumstances, and you should keep your posture in such a way that you should not stand on one leg. You should stand on both your legs and try to speak with the audience, okay, with nice dress code, simple but decent, and maintain your dress code nicely in such a way, okay, and you can present yourself in the public speaking. That's what here we see. Mind your body language. So you have to mind your body language. Your sitting posture, eye contact, smiling, hand movements, and these are all very important. You have to examine and focus on those things. Next, be unbiased. Be unbiased. Eighth one is be unbiased. unbiased. So we are in democratic and secular world. Since we are in democratic and secular world, democratic is the best thing for us, for the human beings, and secularism is also the best thing for the human beings, because after lot of experience, people came to observe or follow the democratic rules and secular rules. So that's why we have to be unbiased. Unbiased means we have to be impartial. We should not show any partiality while speaking on the stage. That means it doesn't mean that you can show partiality in other places, but as long as you speak on the dais, you have to be unbiased, impartial, because different kinds of people will come there, different religious groups they belong, and different races they belong, different creeds they belong to, and they come from different castes. So you should not speak particularly on any one of these related things like castes, casteism, or creed, or on racism, or on religion. You should not speak. You should speak in a universal way that it would not affect any particular group or person. So that is called unbiased. And the next one is plan and practice. Plan and practice. We have already learned that we have to plan and practice. That means we have to do some research work. We have to get some material. We have to read some good speakers who delivered good speech during their lifetime. Because why? Experience is very important. It says experience is a mother of knowledge. Experience is a mother of knowledge. Experience is a name given to your mistakes. So, in your lifetime, you do many mistakes, but after some time, you will come to know why those mistakes, how those mistakes made you successful and made you unsuccessful. So, it's like you say, when after getting some knowledge, you say, oh, why I have done this? I shouldn't have done that. Or you say, oh, at that time I have done that. I have studied well. I am industrious. I am conscientious. That's why now I am in a good position. So in this way, you think and analyze. So that's why we say, mother, experience is a mother of knowledge. It is like mother of knowledge. So we should have some experience. So experience will help us. So before you could speak, you just get some experience, read, plan, and you write down, take down whatever you have written for your speech, you write down on a piece of paper. You stand in front of a mirror, practice it, see your feelings and expressions, ask your friends, record your speech, and let your friends listen to it, and after that you can ask them and get a report from them to check your speech. So in this way you can plan and practice. So after making all these things, you just prepare your speech, you edit it and you revise it, and in doing so you can become an effective speaker, powerful speaker, orator. So to become a good orator, you can practice all these things, then it will help you in public speaking. 10th one, observe other successful speakers. Observe other successful speakers. You come across your lecturers, you come across your heads, institutional heads, you come across your principals, you come across many respectable people and great speakers and dignitaries in different kinds of programs that were performed on different stages. You might have noticed them. You can see, you can take that experience, you can watch them. When somebody is speaking on the stage, then you can plan how you can present yourself with your own style and integrity. So this way, children, if you plan, you can become successful and you will become a eloquent speaker in your future. Thank you.